on social media. They're not showing you the losses. They're not showing you the tough times. How many people are in your DM talking about crypto, Forex, talking about all these trading platforms when 2% of these people are actually successful? So many of my friends started doing options, stock options, and so many of them had lost so much money because they made so much money in a short time, and then they lost a lot of money in a short time.
Take respect. If you want anything in life, you gon' fall a couple times before you get it right. You see, it's beauty in the journey. Lot of turns, lot of obstacles. That's the best part, to see anything is possible. Doing what I want, with who I want, and when I want. I call that freedom, truth, life, and I'm the leader. All we get is one life. Treat every day like your last. Tune in every Monday, Truth Life Podcast.
Let me set you free.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Truth Life Podcast. I'm your host, Tyren Johnson, current professional basketball player playing in Blois, France. This Truth Life Podcast is about advancing our lives so that we can eventually live a life full of freedom, joy, and happiness. Truth stands for take respect until freedom. If you're looking for that, that's what you're trying to do, this is the podcast for you. This is episode 85. And today we're talking about playing the long game. Playing the long game. In this era, in this time, in this generation, we've been hit with an influx of entrepreneurs. Everyone wants to be a boss. Everyone is starting their own businesses. The landscape of the way that we live our lives is changing right before our eyes with the advancement of technology, with the advancement of ways to communicate across the world, or we pretty much shrink the world where we can have audiences globally instead of having just the audience in our parameter. So nowadays, what's being advocated is a lot of people want to get rich quick. A lot of people want to really surpass a lot of fundamental things that actually turn you into a great person and turn you into being a very successful person for a very long time. We want to surpass that because we live in a culture of people that's looking for a quick flip. And for the far majority of the people, that just won't happen. You know, a few people get lucky. There's a few exceptions, but the exceptions do not make the rule. Right? Now let's start upon my journey. I don't like to talk about myself too much, but it's just how I played the long game. Since I was 4 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a professional athlete. Or I didn't know I wanted to be a professional athlete. I knew I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to play sports for as long as I possibly could. So at 4 years old, I picked up a baseball and I started practicing with the 9 and 10 years old. Like guys that was 5 years older than me. And I was competing. And I was addicted ever since then. I wasn't a kid that watched cartoons. I didn't watch TV. I watched SportsCenter. And I would play with myself outside. I would toss up the ball and I would hit it. I would hit it against the wall and I would field it. That's baseball. With football, I played quarterback. So I would make a pass to a receiver that was the roof. But I also would run and go and receive the ball as it come back down. So now I'm working on my receiving skills. I ran routes. I did everything since I was a kid, man. I started lifting weights at about 9, 10 years old because I knew that this is what I wanted to do. But this started from a very young age. You know, it's a lot of guys that's coming in at 16, 17 years old and saying, I want to do this and expecting immediate results. Well, it don't work that way because even though I prepared all this time, even to this day, I'm still not a gifted basketball player. I'm a hard-working basketball player, but as far as natural talent, as far as just a gift, that's not me. And I understand my limitations. But I had to admit that to myself, to be honest with myself, so I know that I can stick to my core and do what has gotten me here. You know, I was cut multiple times. I've said the story a bunch of times. I was cut multiple times in high school. I was on a bench for 3 years in college. Played 1 year as a senior, and I dominated. And now I've been a pro for 12, 13 years. So that was a long time. From 4 years old to 33, to live this life I'm living today, I've been planning this for a long time, and it took a long time. But I don't want you guys to be fooled by the imposters. Everyone is talking about how they came from nothing, how they got it out the mud. Man, it's just not true. Because most people are showing you highlights of their life on social media. They're not showing you the losses. They're not showing you the tough times. How many people are in your DM talking about crypto, Forex, talking about all these trading platforms when 2% of these people are actually successful? So many of my friends started doing options, stock options, and so many of them have lost so much money because they made so much money in a short time, and then they lost a lot of money in a short time. Well, I'm just constantly pumping index funds, small return, but I'm working on my businesses and other things to get more returns. So I'm bettering myself to get the bigger returns. But when I can't control something, I'm being conservative. It's worked for a long time. I believe in crypto. I believe in these spaces, but I believe in putting a small percentage of my portfolio in that instead of going all in and losing everything because you're guessing. Don't fall for it, man. The thing is, what you got to understand is there's beauty in the journey. There's beauty in the journey when it comes down to playing a long game. You want to take your time. You want to figure out how to overcome obstacles, how to overcome problems, because what it does is it makes you battle tested. When you're battle tested, when you go into battle, you're ready for battle. When you're not battle tested and the problem comes about, when you go into the battle, everything's going to be as of a shock for you. It's going to be your first time experiencing this, and you're not going to know how to handle it. Many people don't know how to handle it. That's why many people fold, and that's why half of businesses that start in America, eventually it's not successful. It just won't work. Whenever you have to go through those tough times, whenever you have to keep on losing. When I got cut, when I kept getting cut, when I was on the bench, I kept being on the bench. Whenever, even today, as I'm being overlooked as a player, I'm still grinding. I just worked out today in the rain on the outside court in a schoolyard. I'm the highest paid player on my team. One of the highest paid players in this league, I think. I've been dominant in this league for a while too. Man, I was working out outside in the rain with a 15-year-old just because I'm sticking to what I know. It's not over for me. I still got goals and aspirations and dreams that I want to touch before I retire. So I still have the same approach that I did when I was 4 years old. Because what I found out is whenever you get quick success, it normally don't last. That's why so many athletes that go from broke to rich turn out broke, because they don't know how to manage or handle their money. That's why you don't give people money when they ask you for money. People ask you for $2,000, let me loan $2,000. There's a good chance that you won't get that loan back because you're not solving the problem. What you're doing is you're aiding the problem. You're helping them continue to live a life of high consumption, continue to live a life of bad decisions, and not taking no accountability for their decisions. And you're doing more hindering to them than you're doing helping them. So it's no get rich quick scheme that's going to work out there. Like I said, there's anomalies and there's people that get lucky, but for the most people, that will not be the case. Let me drop a quick ad. If you get a chance, please go to TyrenJohnson.com. Check out the website. This podcast is sponsored by me. I don't take sponsored dollars from no one. I'm not saying I will in the future, but right now I'm just focused on my core people and the people that rock with me. Well, I call y'all my TRÜF pack. Go ahead and check out the website. Download the ebook, How to Make Them Pay. Online basketball training. You can hit me up for a consultation if you want private coaching with me. And, everything else that's on the site, man. Check out the full list of the podcast, the full videos of everything that's going down on the site, TyrenJohnson.com. Please check it out whenever you get a chance. But back to the long game. The long game is you see the stories. You see the stories of the guys that was cut in the NFL, couldn't get jobs. You see the guys that go overseas, play in Turkey, play in Spain, play in all these countries, then come back and win a championship. I look at guys like P.J. Tucker. P.J. Tucker was a talented person, a talented player at Texas University, but he didn't beat the eye test. He didn't have the long arms. He wasn't 6'9", 6'10". He wasn't, a knockdown three-point shooter. He was a tweener, but they seen the tweener. What I seen was a winner. P.J. Tucker won pretty much everywhere he went. Even today, he won a championship last year with the Bucks. When he was with the Rockets, they were competing for a championship. Now he's with Miami. They're at the top of the league. So I see a trend there. In college, they were at the top of the league. I see a trend with this player. I see that everywhere this guy go, he win. They got another guy over here who is regarded as probably the best American to ever come over here. And he might have not had the talent, but he had the will, he had the hard work, he had the dedication, and he had the sacrifice. Kyle Hines. Everywhere he goes, he win. So what that tell me? That tell me that guy is infectious. But I can almost guarantee you, it wasn't no high major schools calling his phone. Undersized. He's like 6'5" and he playing the center. I think he went to UNC Charlotte or somewhere on the East Coast. Talented kid, but you can't see them because for most of us, we don't pass the eye test. And when we don't pass the eye test, a lot of us want to give up. But what I'm telling you is that you don't have to pass the eye test. But what you can't do is not give up. You can't give up. Because once you have a dream, once you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. But you got to write it down. You got to dissect it. You got to check out to see who's done this before me. You got to look up Kyle Hines' story. You got to look up P.J. Tucker's story. You got to look up all these guys that got it out the mud from nothing. Got it out the mud from nothing. I think the guy name is, I was trying to think of this point guard that played in Italy. I think his name is Ricky something, but playing in second division, third division leagues, and he signed with a EuroLeague team. Like you gotta find these guys' stories and reverse engineer. You gotta find out how they train. You gotta find out how they sleep, how they eat. Because if this is what you want to do, you can really do it if you apply yourself. But the problem is a lot of us don't apply ourselves because a lot of us want instant gratification. That's why we're addicted to our phones. That's why we're addicted to social media. That's why we're addicted to all of these distractions, alcohol, marijuana, women, all of these things come into play because we're addicted to instant gratification. Porn is one of the highest websites that's consumed on the net. Why? Instant gratification. You don't have to work to mate with a woman. You don't have to work to get a woman to believe in you, to trust you, to make herself available to you. So you go on a quick route. And whenever you finish, bro, you look like and feel like a lame. Forget that instant gratification, bro. Play the long game because the long game works. Anything that you get quick usually don't last. I learned that from a drug dealer. You get quick dope, you getting quick dollars, it's probably some bad dope. It's probably stepped on. But when you don't work with the plug for a while and y'all done got a system going, y'all got chemistry, hey, man, you keep them coming back. I'm not promoting drugs. I'm not promoting any of that. Don't get it twisted. I know how political this climate is that we're living in, but I'm using it as a simple metaphor. But you keep them coming back. How do you keep them coming back? It's by putting in the work, finding out a system, finding out something that works and making it twerk. I had to drop that line in there, man, but just don't be in a rush. I don't want to keep y'all too long this week because, like I said, I'm in a transitional phase right now. I'm going from not playing for 3 months to where I'm locked in. I'm focused 100% on basketball right now. So it was even hard for me to make this podcast. I'm making this podcast at like 9:30 at night, and I'm going to drop it at about 10 o'clock because I work that fast because I develop a system where it doesn't take me long to produce a podcast episode because I played the long game. But it took me about 10 years. It took me about 10 years to get this good with graphics. It took me about 10 years to get this good with logos. I was making logos for $50 for about 7 years. I was making websites for like $200 for like the first 7 years. Now I don't charge less than $1,000 for a website or a logo. Minimum. I was making beats for $20. I don't charge less than $1,500 for a beat now. Because I've put in the work, I've made a system, and now my work is talking and people are calling me. I don't have to really market myself. My work is speaking for itself because it's been consistent year after year after year after year. Quality getting better and better and better and better and better. And you as a person, you can get better and better and better and better. I don't care if you're driving trucks. I don't care if you a gigolo. I don't care if you're a basketball player, an athlete, whatever you want to call it. You can get better and better and better if you constantly come to work. Steve Jobs, I think, or one of these guys, Bill Gates, one of these rich guys said, we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in a decade. I think that's the quote. Like, it took 10 years. Another case study for you guys to check out. Check out this guy named Peter McKinnon. He's a famous YouTuber, and everyone thought, oh, this guy just blew up on YouTube. But if you look through his story, he was a filmmaker for many years, making little to nothing. Just trying to survive, just trying to make ends meet. And one of his videos went viral. Boom. You build it and it will come. When they came, he had a Netflix of information, a Netflix of videos already on YouTube that people just fell in love with. So they fell in love with him. But imagine his video go viral and they don't have nothing else to look at. He might have lost some subscribers. He might have lost some people that would have interest in him. But they seen this one video and they seen, who is this guy? And then they looked at everything else and like, this guy's very interesting. This guy's captured my heart. This guy's captured my interest. Now I want to do business with this guy. I'm going to subscribe. That's doing business. Now I want to get on his emailing list. That's doing business. Now I want to buy his merch. That's doing business. He's giving you something. You giving him something. Even exchange. And that's how the world works. Play the long game, man. Become irreplaceable. Especially in this basketball stuff, man. Especially in this basketball. You will get paid in correlation to the need for your job, your ability to do it, and how hard it is to replace you. If it's hard to replace you, bro, you can ask for the big bucks. If you can do your job well, you can get the big bucks. They're always going to need basketball players. People love that type of entertainment. So focus on number 2 and number 3, your ability to do it and how to be hard to replace. And that's the leverage I have. I try my best to be hard to replace. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Please, if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, leave a review. Spotify, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Everything's Tyren Johnson. Like I said, check in with the website, tyrenjohnson.com. Man, if you guys really like this, please share it with your friends. If you on Instagram, tag me in the stories, and so I can repost it in my stories so we can grow. But besides that, man, leave y'all like I leave y'all every time. To live a truth life, you got to make them pay every day. I'm out.